So, hello, wonderful tribe, and welcome to Magic Month of November. I can't believe that it's already November. It's been quite a year, 25. And I'm really excited about the end of this year. It's very important. The end of this year is very important. Next year is very important. Um, it's all we really are in pivotal pivotal energy of ascension and um our collective and personal evolution. So it's incredible what we're getting to live through astrologically and beyond astrologically. I think some of the things that are going on in the sky right now are beyond astrological. Um, if you do not know me, my name is Karila, and I have a company called Starlight Temple, and I'm a channel. And Starlight offers courses and ceremonies and channeled processes to help our collective and personal ascension. And Magic Month is my oldest um, webinar. It's the one that I've run for the longest, and it is an energy forecast. So it gives you a forecast of the month ahead from an astrological viewpoint, a channeled viewpoint, an energy viewpoint, seasonal viewpoint, so that you can use the information to prepare and to align and to understand the times that in the month that are best for manifesting, that are best for healing, that are going to take you into a big process. So you can use this forecast to go with the flow of the month and to understand how to make the most out of the month. And so and I find Magic Month particularly useful. I am always very grateful to have the forecast and the understanding in terms of my own personal journey and my path. And so my wish for you is that this month and this episode of Magic Month really, really gives you everything that you need to really evolve yourself, because that is what November's about. It's about opening up to evolution. It's about manifesting beyond what we have already known, dreaming in the most ancient sense of the word, dreaming and beginning to dream a new world into form, which is also, this new world is kind of the integration of the lessons and the karma of the old world. And there is so much in the sky and in the energetic forecast to suggest that this is actually happening inside of us and outside of us, on so many levels. And I'm going to try and give you a picture, because this year it's very hard to just talk about the month's astrology. In a way, you have to understand the bigger picture of the astrological year in order to understand the month and what is happening. And you have to understand about the year of the snake, and now Three Eye Atlas. Can't do Magic Month without talking about Three Eye Atlas. And so there's a lot, and it's wide and it's vast and it's ethereal, and it is beyond our human perception in many ways. Um, and yet we are also more than just our personality selves. We are also soul, and so we can go beyond our human point of view and understand the month and the soul process that we're in. I'm just looking at myself and I'm like, there is a lot of glitter on me. So I'm just going to explain that. So I Starlight Temple is my work, and ceremony is a huge part of it. But because in my personal life, everybody knows that ceremony is a big part of me and my life. Very often I get asked to do ceremonies for important events, and I had a very good friend of mine. She had a baby blessing today that I was holding for her, what we think is going to be her Scorpio child. And it was so sweet, but she wanted to have I've done a lot of baby blessing ceremonies, and they're always so different because there's different types of people that the woman invites. But she really wanted it just to be her immediate family, really. And there were there were three little girls there, and so we went very, very fairy. And the glitter came out, and the glitter got everywhere. And the glitter on me is the result of a very, very like little girl's fairy baby blessing ceremony, which was super fun. And you can feel the joy of it as I sparkle on screen. And yeah, I don't think I quite noticed how much glitter I had on me when uh until we were rolling, until the magic month was live. But yeah, I would say actually that this month is about, in some ways, magical ceremony and coming into relationship through ceremony, because when you have such big, huge levels of stuff happening, we need our oldest language, which is ceremony, to be able to process and be able to understand. And even though I usually do channeled ceremony and things that are not more celebrant style ceremony like I was doing today, it's amazing to me even people that how much people understand ceremony when I do a celebrant ceremony, whether they're 5 years old or they've never done any kind of spiritual work. Actually, when they are in the process of a ceremony, you can see how much meaning and understanding and fluency everyone from all ages has. And that we have to lean into these things that are fluent to us as humans, because things are about to change in ways that I don't know if our personality cells or our nervous systems are are gonna find particularly easy to process. And so leaning into leaning into the old language and the old ways, and the meaning is actually, and getting covered in glitter is actually quite important at this time. Just wear glitter and it will all go well. So Um, and so let's just have a moment to drop in together and close your eyes and breathe in love. And breathe out gratitude. Feeling source light, calm, into this time and this space. Instantly raising your vibration. Experience your energy and, most importantly, your heart expanding into the light of the divine. Into the peace and the stillness that is here now and always here. And into the simplicity that is possible for all of us. And as you expand into this now, open up to November 25. Coming into energetic relationship with this month. What are you feeling from the field of this month, from the energy of this threshold? How is the field affecting you, your heart, your center, your breath? What happens if you choose to fully experience what November holds right now? Will you lean into your ancient ancestral gift of prophecy? What do you sense about the passage that lies ahead? What can your body tell you about what to expect? And you breathe in love. You breathe out gratitude. breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. When you are ready, you open your eyes and come in the room or the place where you are. And if you're listening live, I love Magic Month to be co-creative, so please do share in the chat about how you're doing and what you are sensing from November. It actually feels clean. Like, it feels really new, the energy to me, really fresh, which makes sense to me from an astrological point of view. But yeah, it feels really positive to me, really beautiful. And please do co-create this forecast with me. You know, we are in togetherness and in tribe. So if there's things you want to ask, things you want to share, things you want to express, then use the chat. And I agree, fresh and open and upwards. It's good. It's good. So those of you that are regulars to Magic Month will know that I always say that what happens at the start of the month gives you, like, it sets the tone, it sets the like overall theme. And at the start of November, we don't have any major astrology, not in the first couple, not till the 4th of November. And for me, whenever that happens, the sky's saying, expect the unexpected, or like trust that the mystery is with you, you know, that be open to the new or the unexpected or the magic of the mystery. And then I will come in, and I invite you to come into that, because it's also, we've just had Samhain, which is technically the new year in the pagan calendar. So this was actually when the new cycle began in the pagan calendar, the original goddess calendar. But this time and this year is so much more than that as well. First, we have, and those of you that have been watching Magic Month and doing stuff with Starlit like this year will understand this, but I'm just going to say it for anybody that's new. This year, we astrologically completed our collective karma of separation consciousness. And really, if you want to pinpoint that astrologically, it was March when it came to completion. Then what you had is you had this planetary shift over the summer that was, you know, all of the outer planets, which are our collective, that hold our collective consciousness in place, they all changed signs. Like, we had this huge like astrological re-landscaping happening. And when those outer planets change, what happens is they then go back. So they change into the new sign that they're going to be in, you know, for many, many years. And then they change back to the old places they are. And then next year they're going to fully change again. And this winter, if you're in the northern hemisphere, we started to go back into the planets, going back to their old position. And those planetary shifts that happen this summer, they really mark the beginning of the new earth. You could say the astrological birth of the new earth happened on the 7th of July, definitely considered to be the beginning. And what, but with karmic reward, so with karma, what you get is you get a karmic cycle, and the completion of that karmic cycle comes with a reward. The reason souls do processes that are karmic is so that we can come back into alignment when we've gone out of alignment. But in coming back into alignment, we are rewarded or evolved on a cell and a soul level. And in a way, I'm sure that in the case of this year's astrology, this swing back into a more Piscean rather than Aquarian astrological viewpoint of the world is so that we can receive the karmic reward. So this winter, if you're in the northern, this time period between now and March is about the reward for the completion of our collective karma of separation. And how the reward looks to me when I tune in. And this is where 3i Atlas comes in the year of the snake, and why I say it's so much more than just looking at the month of November is, if you think of, so the year of the snake is when paths get initiated, and it's when a new path cycle is born for everybody that is of service to Gaia and the ascension process. And part of that initiation is the shedding of the old skin, right? Like how snakes rebirth is they rebirth from the inside. You know, the new skin kind of pushes out through the old skin. And if you think about it, as we went into this like planetary shift, our consciousness this summer, I'm going to refer to summer as if I know some of you are in the southern hemisphere, but I'm just going to refer to summer. If you think about it, the planets took our inner into a new skin, into a new perception and a new reality, you know, and we experienced new states of consciousness, new perception, new heart, new reality inside of us. And now we're like, that new inner landscape has arrived back into the old Piscean skin so that we can grow from inside of it, so that we can rebirth from the inside to the outside, so that the old paradigm of who we were can be shed. And so in a way, like, I feel like you had this massive internal change, which I really experienced and felt this summer, like total heart awakening. Now we're back in, and actually probably for a lot of you, everything's feeling a bit tight and uncomfortable and not good enough, because you have this new inner light inside of you that's come back into the old paradigm of yourself and your reality, and it's not fitting anymore. It's like this, the awareness of the old skin is really getting intense, and it's going to get more intense because we've changed on the inside. And then this winter is the shedding of that old skin, and next year is that on a big collective level, that shed happening and that new skin, new world being born. Which is why everybody's saying that these 2 years are so important in our ascension process. And so, and then at the same, so you've got this going on with the year of the snake, which is, happens every year of the snake. It's just this year of the snake is also timing with the completion of our collective karma, our collective ascension, the most crucial years in our ascension process. So it's like a super year of the snake, because we're not just rebirthing a new 12-year cycle, we are rebirthing our we're rebirthing our one paradigm to another. So, this is more intense than most years of the snake that were intense anyway. And we're initiating from 3D paths to 5D paths. And so it's huge. It's huge. And then at the same time, we have 3-eye Atlas in our sky, and there's loads and loads on the internet, and everybody in the New Earth world is talking about it. And my advice to you is to go with what feels true and resonant to you. So something as big as a comet is, all comets in a way, they are the heralders of new ages, and they are the gods of change in many ways. Like, that has been so throughout human history. And I know some people think it's more than a comet and it's aliens and everything like that. My guidance is it's a bit of both. We don't have we don't do human we don't just have human technology without nature. Do you see what I mean? It's like it's co-creation. AI, 3-eye Atlas. It's not one or the other. It's a shift in consciousness that is happening on the level of nature and on the level of technology and on the level of DNA, in our cosmology. Yeah. And what's important to understand is that it definitely has an element that is comet like. It works like a comet in the sense that it's heralding something new. And so in many ways, that's the most important thing about it, is it's moving like a maverick comet. It's moving in across our sky in the same way that the comets that ancestral people saw and knew that God was speaking, and that's what's important, is when something unusual is happening in our sky, it's because the divine is trying to get our attention and trying to make us question. And my instinct is that this is the blue star from the Hopi prophecy, partly because of it. That prophecy is that there's this blue star, Kachina, that appears in the sky, that is the final warning before the great change and the great purification. And like, if all of this other astrology wasn't lined up, then I might not agree that it's that. But given everything else that is lining up in the sky right now, I think it probably is, and it's blue. But when I've tuned into it and when I've channeled about it, and I am, if you join my mailing list, I am going to do a channeled event where we connect in. and find out more and see what the guides say and everything like that. But so far, my tuning in about it is that what it's doing, it's not so important where it's from or who's doing it or those kind of things. What's important is what it does for us, right? Like the awakening it causes in us. And my guidance is that what it's doing is, so when we have an age, our sun is truth is filtered through the akashic of the meaning of that age. So if we have the age of Pisces, which we're just coming out of, there is a filter in our sun that literally means that everything we perceive is from a Piscean point of view. You know, if you imagine it like a theatre light. And then for the age of Aquarius to happen, the filter in the sun has to be Aquarian on an akashic level and on a field of perception level, on the way light is, on the way human interaction is, on every single level. And I believe that what it's doing is changing the coordinates and akashic and information that is coming through the sun, changing our ability to perceive the range from Piscean to Aquarian, which would fit in very well with everything else that is being suggested of this time, including the kind of coming back into this Piscean age skin and this old karmic identity because of all of the planets going back to their old position, so that we can kind of see that we are no longer perceiving from there anymore. We are no longer, so we can see how much it doesn't fit. And from that place, from inside that old skin, we can rebirth like you do in the year of the snake. But it has to come from the inside, because otherwise there is no other organic change. There is no other change of the world of matter unless it comes from inside out. And so, you know, all the way up to the mysteries that are happening in our sky, to the ancient prophecies, to the planetary shifts, everything is aligned for this rebirth. And the reward is quite important in all of this, because you, according to my guides, everybody has lived their entire life without something, and they've just operated minus this thing, so that at this stage, which is when the soul is receiving the karmic reward, it is woven into who we are, and we start operating from that place, and we don't have any corruption of the meaning of whatever our reward is. And then the reward is something our soul has chosen. And so it's a very, you know, this is in a way, it's like the caterpillar suddenly getting wings, being like, oh, now I can fly because I've got wings. You know, didn't have wings when it was a caterpillar. And so this is what's going on like a soul level, a DNA level, and an internal level, the world level, the sun level. It's happening. And we have the absolute privilege to be really on the front line of all of it, to be humans incarnated on this planet at this time. And this winter, more than anything else, it's about making. It's about choosing the new self over the old self. Like, one thing that I am pretty sure is going to happen for lots of people is old opportunities to do a pattern differently is going to come up again and again. You know, your initiation is doing it differently. Your initiation is recognizing what is old skin and what is new heart. Your initiation is choosing, as both of the filters are in place in the sun, to see through the things that you couldn't see through, to the new world of your own making. And this is also dream time, and not dream time in the modern day version of manifesting. This is the Aboriginal version of dreaming time, you know, where like the cosmos itself, Gaia herself, our souls are dreaming a new reality into form. And so, and we can be part of that dreaming, and we should be. And so I wanted to explain all of that, because without understanding that, how is the forecast going to have the same meaning? And so on the 4th of November, we have Mars entering Sagittarius. And so the first thing that happens astrologically is Mars, that's masculine, action, path, warrior energy, entering into Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is really faith, you know. Sagittarius is joyful and it's fiery, but it's about our faith. And it is time to gear ourselves towards the future. That is what the sky is saying. You know, at some point, we've got to stop tending to the wounds of the old skin and instead be like, what are we going to do next? And then the next day we have a Taurus, a supermoon in Taurus. And, you know, in a way it feels like the sky is saying, what you're going to do next is you're going to land all of this. You're going to land this karmic reward. You're going to manifest. You're going to, you know, Taurus is about the embodiment. It's about it happening on the real life level. We did, I sent it out actually on the newsletter, but we did a burning of the seed ceremony, which is something you can only do in the year of the snake. And it's about releasing the energy from the old cycle into the new cycle. And one of the rounds of it is the round of matter. And when we were doing the ceremony, me and everybody with me just felt this immense grief. Like, Gaia, everything that was meant to manifest that doesn't, because we're too distracted, or we're too busy, or we're too in the other worlds. You know, there was this one moment where Gaia was showing me that the physical manifestation is what it's all about. Like, it's what it's such it's so devastating when it isn't physically realized, you know? And so this next cycle, this new cycle, is about the physical realization of the new earth. And this is a really powerful moon to open up and get clear on what your karmic reward is. Open up, receive it, be willing to have a new paradigm of yourself come in so that you can see the physical results of it, so that you can ground it in, so that you can make it realize. And so this start of the month should be all about getting into your intention, really starting to understand this karmic period that I feel is until about March next year. This karmic reward dream, end of the year of the snake, rebirthing, skin shedding time. And then on the 6th of November, we have Venus entering into Scorpio. And, you know, it feels like as we get to the 6th of November, there's quite a big planetary medicine instruction in terms of like, okay, you've dreamt it on the Taurus full moon, you've got the karmic picture, you know that this is about path and ascension and everything like that. What's the medicine and what's the process? How are you going to do this? And it feels like November's really starting to expose that. And the first thing is Venus going into Scorpio, which Scorpio takes you to the depths of everything. Venus is love and life force. It is time to get to the depths of your love, to understand the shadows that are in the way, to your karma or your karmic reward is it's in your shadow, right? Because your shadow is your subconscious or the things you've rejected about yourself, the things you don't believe are you. Shadow isn't always about trauma and pain and things we need to release. Sometimes it's things we need to retrieve or reclaim. And you know, this is one of I'll come on to that, but one of the things that's been channeling through the course I'm running at the moment called The Beautiful Way is that in a way what we need to reclaim is our innocence, because our entire karmic cycle has been operated from a place of not feeling innocent, right? Like when you're in karmic realignment, you're correcting something that's out of alignment. So you're recognizing that you weren't innocent. But there comes a point in that journey where you have to reconnect to the divine and go, I'm innocent. And therefore I can begin again. And that's where the karmic reward comes in. And in a way, that's where we have to go to in the depths of our love, is to our own innocence, because all of this new beginning, everything that Three Eye Atlas is shifting in the sun, it will not come into the old template of us. And the new template of us is it can only come into our innocence, because innocence is the beginning of everything. And I'll give you at the end some practices for innocence that have been coming through The Beautiful Way, the course that's running. And then at the same time, just after, on the 8th of November, we have Uranus in retrograde, re-entering Taurus. So this is one of those big planetary shifts that's going back. Uranus in Taurus has, you know, since 2016, Uranus in Taurus was shaking up our sense of stability and security. And it really did, you know, it included everything that like we thought was safe got shaken up by Uranus in Taurus, because Uranus unstabilizes everything. And this is the final wrap up of that. Again, it's part of the karmic reward. And, you know, one of the things that we can get secure in is our sense of guilt, our sense of shame, the identities that are not innocent. Sometimes, what if the Uranus in Taurus shakeup was about bringing us into sacred vulnerability so that we could retouch into our innocence? And also, what if it's time, that journey, if you think of that journey, and it was big shakeup for a lot of people, what's the reward in terms of abundance and love and home and all of those Taurian themes that can come in now in a new form because it got uprooted in its old form? And this, even if all it's doing is informing your dream time, informing your manifestation, there was a lot of false security, which we'd been sold, which the pandemic, as part of Uranus in Taurus, exposed. That we are still having the collective repercussions of on the financial world in a massive way. So what is true security? What is true abundance? You know? And can we summon that into the dream time? Because it ain't the world that was there before, is it? Nobody's wanted to go back to that. And then the next day we have Mercury retrograde, and Mercury is all about, it's about communication, it's the messenger. And so, you know, Mercury retrograde is the invite to go inward. So the sky saying this time it's time to really understand your inner landscape, what's true and what isn't, what's old skin shedding and what's new reality birthing through you, and which one do you choose? Which one do you live by? Which one do you serve? Which one do you perceive inside and outside of you? And then this is huge. We have November 11th, and the 1111 portal is always really powerful. The double numbers are part of us recognizing our own ascension consciousness. Many people have been woken up by the double numbers, particularly seeing 1111 everywhere. It is an awakening time. It's a portal for higher self-consciousness, the 1111 portal. And, you know, I can tell it is because I do ceremony at different times of the year, and I often do 1111, and it's always cosmic. You know, the channeling goes more cosmic. Everything goes more higher self. You can tell when you do a lot of ceremony what frequency a day has or what portal a day has. And this definitely, there is something in the 1111 for sure. It's like a acceleration of consciousness, or a lift off of consciousness that happened. But Jupiter goes into retrograde on November 11 this year. And Jupiter is path and abundance and expansion. It's in Cancer, which is all about home and family. And in a lot of ways, that Taurus energy that I was speaking about, Taurus and Uranus, you know, Cancer is almost the opposite of that. You know, it's like the true stability that comes from the heart, that comes from the true meaning of home, from the mothering of and nurturing of everything you care about. And, you know, Jupiter retrograding, it's like it's getting your inner ready for your path, right? But it happening on 11/11, it's getting us ready for this higher self, higher consciousness path. We cannot walk our paths in the new cycle in survival mode. We have to walk them in soul mode. The work now is too big, it's too great. Our ego selves cannot do what we have to do next collectively. Our soul, it's the work of our soul. It's the work of our mastery. It's the brilliant. And this retrograde is going to take you there because it's beginning on November 11th. It's beginning on the 11/11 portal. It's like, meet your higher self, like go inside and find your higher self and get that soul mode on. And this is also happening in the year of the stake, the path initiation. It's like the sky is like, level up, people. Level up. And, leveling up, you've got to explore what that means because it's going to be different for different ones of you. But all I can say is that from the beautiful way that is, like I said, it's running, leveling up means getting the noise, getting out of your own way, getting to what really matters, to deeper levels of the integrity and meaning and reason. So this is absolutely a very powerful day to manifest, to journal, to make an offering for your path, to just be like, okay, I level up. Show me. In a way, this time, this winter is about you submitting and saying, okay, you guys redream me. Three-eye Atlas, do your thing on my perception. Gaia, do your thing on my body. Jupiter, do your thing on my heart. Like all of you recreate me, and just submitting to that recreation. And then on November 12th, I feel like in terms of that, if we are going to have a recreation of ourselves, which I believe is going to happen for everyone this winter, I think it's already happened on the deepest level. It's just now it's happening on the skin level, the relationship level, the relating level. And another thing that came out the beautiful way is that like relationship is how potential germinates, what's happening on the relationship level is important. This is the germination. Their ex-partner coming back into your life and you saying no, it's the germination. the challenging family Christmas is the germination. Doing things differently in relationship is the germination. And if this year, and so much of this year has astrologically been about the masculine and the feminine, and what we have on November 12th, straight after this, like, go and up level your path, Jupiter 11/11, we have Mercury conjunct with Mars. And Mercury's communication, and Mars is the warrior, the masculine. And conjunction means they're close. And so much of this year has been about truth and the masculine coming back into truth. And then the next thing to happen astrologically, on the 18th of November, we have another conjunction. We have the sun, which also represents truth, conjunct with Black Moon Lilith, which is the astrological representation of the dark feminine. And for me, the you know, the middle of the month is really the climax of the medicine that happens in the month. And like the sky is like, get your masculine and your feminine into truth and into harmony, and get them next to each other and supporting each other. Start, you know, it will, with those energies there, that middle of the month there's going to be a rational, emotional, you know, both Lilith and Mercury conjunct March has this like irregular, irrational, chaotic energy. But what happens if the masculine and the feminine actually support each other through that? What happens if you hold a sense of union and a completion of the lessons of this year? What happens if you invite the masculine to support the feminine and the feminine to support the masculine? And then on the 19th, we have another retrograde. So November is very, very in. We have retrograde. Mercury's already in retrograde, but it enters Scorpio. And Scorpio is like, right, we're not just going in, we're going down to the underworld. You know, we're going to the bottom of everything. And so any of those, you know, all summer the sky has been healing the separation between the masculine and feminine in us. It's been healing the militarized masculine. It's been healing the collapsed feminine. It has been going on all summer. It's part of the healing of the scar tissue of separation. And, you know, my feeling when I look at this Scorpio time in November is it's like the opportunities are going to come up for you to prove that that healing has happened within you, for you to not do the same habits, for your masculine not to militarize in response to something that it would have, for your feminine to not collapse in response to something that it would have, for you not to reject, for you to stay in your innocence. To find your innocence at the bottom of it all, to choose support. Because then on the 20th, we have the Scorpio new moon. And again, it's going to be volatile. This time period is powerful for healing. It's also powerful for integration, though. If you've done a big healing year, if you've had a big time, this from the 11/11 really, there's this opportunity for that volatility to be happening on a deep level inside of you, so that you are integrating all of it, especially by making these new choices. And the rewards, you know, those rewards are at the depths of you. And so go in, go down, do yin, be in ceremony, be in self-reflection. Because also on the 20th is a Mercury Kazemi, which is when Mercury is aligned with the sun. And this is always a time of truth. It's always a rebirth moment. Because what can rebirth other than truth? And yet, and you know, it's when we come to a new truth, that's when we realize our innocence. The absolute is the denial of innocence. The ability to change, the ability to transform, the ability to cycle is the proof of our innocence, which is proof of our divinity, right? And therefore proof in a way of our redemption, our right to redemption. And so by the 20th, there's going to be this. I see it as, if you do the work, and doing the work, it's not, it really is about making the new choices this month from the astrological point of view. It's like, make a new choice, do it differently from how you've done it before. And if you do, then what's amazing is, as Saturn goes direct, which is when the reward really starts to come in on the 28th of November, Saturn's been in retrograde since July, which is when the birth of the new earth was. So it's been happening on the inside, happening on the inside. As it goes direct, it can start to happen on the outside, because you've proved that you can hold your karmic reward. You've proved you can do things in innocence differently because of a reason that isn't your old stuff, And it's all inside of you. Like the planets have done the work. And then on the 29th, we have Mercury going direct. And what's beautiful about this end of the month is it's all about integrity. It's like, we have to go down into the depths, and then, woo, we're in the flow and the field and the charge forward of integrity. We're finally untangling. And on the 30th, we have Venus going into Sagittarius. The heart sparking with the adventure of the new, filling with the faith. And Venus in Sagittarius, it helps us broaden our perspective on love, which is perfect for AI Atlas, expanding our field of perception, right? Because we want to perceive through the heart and perceive the love that is beyond anything we can perceive right now. That's what's amazing about this time. It's like we are literally, it's not just popping in through the veils on Samhain, it's going through the veils. And you can feel by the end of the month, what I love Magic Month is you really get taken on the journey energetically. And it's like by the end, you can feel how certain and direct and empowered the energy is. And so this is the forecast for November. I'd love to hear how you feel about it. I'd love to hear what you feel. And I kind of have a sense that, December, January are also of this ilk. And I'm going to pull a card of a month in a minute and give you some tips from spirit, mainly from the Beautiful Way, to be honest. The Beautiful Way, I highly recommend it. Like, I wish that I'd done the Beautiful Way. I wish I had the wisdom from the Beautiful Way in my last cycle, because my last cycle would have been a lot easier, more graceful. I feel like the Beautiful Way is just stripping back all of the noise and bringing path into something that is just so beautiful and sacred and easy. And the guides say that it started, but it's running, it's essentially able for anybody to book it and do it as long as they finish by the year of the snake. And we will keep the live accountability going as long as there's live people doing it. And so if you want to do the beautiful way, I really, it's for the path initiation of the year of the snake, and it's really special. And then the other things that I have coming up, so I don't have that much on. If you're in the UK, then I have this beautiful land tantra in Avebury for the winter solstice, which is, Avebury's just amazing. It's where I spend every winter solstice. And the land, Avebury's where the whole land work of the year gets integrated. And this year, Avebury's going to be amazing. And there's loads of stuff happening with Three Eye Atlas. It's amazing. So that's the end of year land tantra offering. And there's some other beautiful little things I'm doing between then. Like there's a prayer for the beloved, a support of land work happening in Japan. I haven't got it up yet, but I have been guided to do a transmission probably on 11/11 about Three Eye Atlas and this like higher path consciousness pivot that's happening. So there's some little things on, but mainly I'm just in the same integration. I'm just doing the beautiful way, basically. Then next year a year-long channeling course is starting. So, and that's a year-long channeling course is going to be amazing because the channeling course is amazing. And at this time, it's the only temple I want to be in is the temple to the divine conversation, because everything else is going to go, and all that's going to be stable, in my opinion, is relationship. And the channeling course is the teaching of the divine conversation. That means you can be in relationship with whatever you choose to be in relationship with. And the card I've pulled for us is what you want wants you. The new earth wants us. You know, it isn't something we have to create as such. It's something that we need to resonate with and bring and come into relationship with and come into communion with. And the style of dreaming that I keep mentioning, this like dreaming into reality, that's coming into relationship. You know, it's not just visualizing, it's coming into full-bodied experience and connection and being carried by it and falling in love with it and, you know, allowing it to birth through you. Because it does it does. The new earth, the age of Aquarius wants us as much as we want it. Peace wants us as much as we want it. Abundance wants us as much as we want it. The fact you want it is evidence that it wants you. Is evidence that there's resonance there. And this is the time to. Sorry, I'm going to let the cat out because the cat wants to go out, and it's proving how good manifestation it is. So this time is about really listening to the new self and being willing to be the reason the old self skin sheds. And the two things that I will recommend that you do, well, the three things, because I also recommend you do the beautiful way if you're not doing it. But the two things are if you close your eyes and invite your masculine to stop protecting your feminine and start supporting her. And invite your feminine to stop rejecting your masculine and start supporting him. And feel that lean in to each other happening inside yourself. And then you invite your past to stop protecting your future. Start supporting your future. And your future stop rejecting your past. Start supporting. And bring yourself into this internal landscape of being supported. And open to your own innocence. Understanding that every time you are in innocence, the new can happen through you. One of the things that came out of the beautiful way is to start doing things because you are innocent. Rest because you are innocent. Write an email because you are innocent. Speak to somebody because you are innocent. Start to practice being innocent, because it gives your soul a chance to dream. The other thing I recommend is resting in Shavasana. Without an alarm, without any amount of time restriction. Because when we do this, even if it's once a month, we allow our soul to dream into us. As soon as we put a time limit on it, as soon as we set alarm, we create a limitation that stops the ancient soul dreaming. And so when we do that, when we have no alarm, when we're in the liminal space, our soul is able to dream into us. And really, soul dreaming is very valuable at this time. You can't really imagine what your soul wants to do next. But your soul knows. Let your soul dream those codes through the sun into you, into your heart. And this month, it's about being carried. You'll have noticed I haven't said loads about like manifest or heal here. There's a wave form happening through this month that's just going to carry you. And really, the most important thing I can understand when I tune into this month is tending to, these new opportunities to do things differently. Do them. Don't be like, oh no, it's come back round. Be like, yes, it come back round. Let me show you. Let me show you what I've learned. Let me show you how I'm going to do things differently. In your thoughts, in your words, in your actions, and most importantly, in your relationships. Because when you do things differently in relationships, and I don't just mean romantic relationships, you are creating the germination of your new potential. I really hope that Magic Month has been helpful to you. I really hope if you're not doing the beautiful way that you join us, because it is so helpful. And if you're called to the channeling course next year, that'll be epic. Because channeling is the thing that is saving my life right now. I don't know how anybody else is coping without wisdom from spirit. It's the thing that is helping me learn how to do this new earth. And you end up covered in glitter. Just living. And yeah, I'm very grateful to all of you. I'm very grateful to the commitment to Magic Month and the big picture and the forecast and your paths. I love you all very much, and I really hope this was helpful to you. If it was, please share it. I really think we have to go tribe and stop giving our money to the 1%, and our energy to the platforms of the 1%, and actually just commune with each other. So if it's helpful and you think it's helpful to others, please share it. And yeah, thank you all. Very, very grateful to you all. Enjoy November. I think it's going to be really special.